Today's recipe is inspired by one of the all-time great recipes, coq au vin. Basically what I'm making is a coq au vin, but it's slightly simplified. So delicious, and it's a nice simple braise that you can make on the weekend, and then you'll have leftovers all week long, and you will be super happy. Start off by getting your vegetables ready. I'm cutting up, well, the recipe says 6 medium, but these carrots were so big that I'm just gonna go ahead and only use 3 of them. Cut them into 1/2-inch pieces. I'm already cooking 3 strips of bacon that I've cut into little pieces. I also have parsley and thyme, and this is 1 big fresh bay leaf. Those are gonna go in. You can tie them with some twine if you want to, but it's not necessary. My bacon should be done, so I'm gonna get it out of the pot. It's rendered a little bit of fat, but not that much, and I'm gonna brown my chicken in this pot, so I am going to add a little bit of extra fat. I only see like a tiny coating of fat, which is not enough to brown 12 chicken thighs. So go ahead and heat some oil. To build more flavor, you wanna brown your chicken. It needs to be seasoned with salt and pepper. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that right in the pan and get browning. These are skinless bone-in chicken thighs. Cooking on the bone keeps good flavor and keeps the chicken moist. But thighs are gonna stay moister than breast anyway, so they're perfect things for braising like this chicken with wine. You're gonna wanna brown them in batches so that they have a chance to brown instead of steaming. And like I said, I'm gonna season right in the pot. Salt and pepper. Make sure you let them sit for a few minutes so that they really do get a nice golden brown color, and then you can turn them over. The first side's brown, nice and golden, turn them over. You're probably gonna want to adjust the heat just slightly as it's cooking. You start off on a medium-high. You might need to go down to a medium at some point so your pan doesn't burn. But if you do find it's getting too dark, you can add a splash of water between batches and just sort of get up all those brown bits, add them to your wine or your stock, and then clean oil and start over again. You don't want burning in there, because that'll taste bad. But browning tastes amazing. So when the second side is brown, just take them out of the pan. You can set them aside on a tray, because you want to saute your aromatics in the same pot as you browned your chicken before you add the chicken back in. So into your pot, you can add 1 large onion that's been minced and a couple cloves of garlic. Carrots can go in as well. Saute till your onions are translucent. I'm turning the heat back up again. Add some salt and pepper. Then add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. This will add a lot of flavor and some really nice color. This adds a little bit of a base, which is really, really nice. Once you cook this out a little bit, you can add 3 tablespoons of flour. This will thicken your stew and add some great texture as it cooks. The flour also needs to cook off just a little bit. You don't want your stew tasting like raw flour, so give this a chance to cook just a tiny bit before you add your liquid, which is 1½ cups of red wine, and then 1 can or about 1½ cups of chicken broth. In the beginning, when I have flour thickening something, I like to add just a little bit of broth or whatever the liquid is at a time so that I can stir it in and avoid lumps. You can add the rest. Be sure to continually stir at this point because there's flour in there. If you're not careful, it could stick a little bit and then it'll burn there. Now that it's boiling, and it's been so for about 30 seconds, add your broth. Then add your herbs. It's the parsley, thyme, and bay leaf. Stir that in, and then add your chicken back into the pot. If there are any juices on the pan, which of course there will be from the chicken, you want to get those in there. That's flavor. Bring it to a boil. Cook it for about 10 minutes covered at a simmer, and then 10 minutes uncovered at a simmer, and it should be done in about 20 minutes. When it's done, it should be really fragrant in your kitchen. You're going to be excited, I can guarantee it. I like to use a fork to just lift the herbs right out. Now the bacon can either be stirred in here, or you can sprinkle a little bit on top, which is what I'm going to do. You can serve this over polenta or mashed potatoes. It's kind of stewy. It's like a cross between a soup and a stew. If you want it to be a little more thick and coaty, you can take the chicken out, set it aside, just keep it warm, and then reduce the broth to thicken it at a boil. But I'm gonna serve it just like this. 1 or 2 pieces of chicken. There you go. Make sure you get some of those carrots. It's kind of incredible that this was made in like 30 minutes. You're not gonna believe it. Tastes just like you're in a French bistro. Make this tonight. You are going to love it.